Hey guys, it's Ayo and I make lifestyle and finance videos in case you are new here. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today I'm coming to you with some new, improved, quirky tips on how you can save for a deposit in 2021. Now I did do a video about this, about saving for a deposit fast, which I'm going to link up here in the iCards above. But in case you're looking for something a little bit extra, definitely make sure you keep on watching. Now the first tip I have for you guys is to actually look at negotiating and reducing your bills. Now this was something I actually touched on in my first video about saving for a deposit, but I wanted to go into a little bit more depth as to how you can do that. Now there's a few bills that I tend to pay even though I'm living at home. It's stuff like energy bills, your car insurance, phone bills. These are all things that ultimately we need in this day and age, but doesn't mean that they cannot be negotiated. And trust me when I say I am not the type of person that likes to pick up a phone call and start negotiating. That's not me. But when it comes to saving for a deposit, if there's any point that you can save, it is worth it. So an example of how I did this was I basically negotiated on my car insurance. Now there's two ways I could have done this, but I'll tell you the way that I did it and another way that you guys can maybe consider if you're not in the same position as me. So the first thing I did was I shopped around for better deals. I wasn't getting great deals, to be honest, but I was getting a little bit better than my renewal quote. So I shopped around and then I called up my car insurance provider and I said, hi, like in terms of quotes, like I'm getting this on Compare the Market. And they were like, oh, okay, we'll match that. Well, they didn't match it. They actually made it a little bit cheaper than what I got. So I was able to save a certain amount. I can't remember. I'll make sure to put it up here if I manage to figure it out. And so it got to the point where I was even able to just pay it straight out in full as opposed to paying it on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis, my monthly expenses reduced because I just paid out the full annual payment. Now, I know that not everybody will be in a position to be able to do that, but another alternative you can do is that if you have a credit card with a good interest rate, you could pay your annual fee for your car insurance on your credit card and then pay back your credit card within the year or within however many months that you can, basically. So you can spread out the payments on a credit card, because the chances are your credit card interest rate is going to be better than the interest rate that the car insurance would give you to pay it every month, if that makes sense. So that's two things that you can do to reduce your expenses or to reduce your bills. And of course, when it comes to your energy providers, when it comes to your phone bill, you can pick up the phone and try to negotiate if you're looking for a better deal. So, you know, when it comes to saving for a deposit, any extra money that you can get is worth it. So I definitely encourage you guys to try and check out that possibility. Another thing that I would say is a must when you're saving for your deposit is to have multiple accounts that you're saving in. Now, again, in my previous video, I spoke about the Help to Buy ISA and the Lifetime ISA, but I would definitely say that you should have more than those as accounts that you're saving money in if possible. Because with the Help to Buy ISA, you can only put in £200 a month. With the Lifetime ISA, you can put £4,000 a year. But if you're able to save more than that, then you should ideally have a high interest savings account or two highest interest savings accounts available that you could be putting money in, that you can be getting some sort of perk out of it as well. So when saving for a deposit, don't think that it all just has to go into one account. No, save in multiple accounts, because ultimately when it comes to paying your deposit, you can just put them all together and then pay it like when you need to. So I definitely encourage you guys, shop around for the best high interest savings accounts available and open those, and make sure you're putting and depositing money in those so that you can get the best bang for your buck when you're saving for your deposit. Another thing that is a must when it comes to saving for your deposit is to make sure that you budget for all the other fees that come with purchasing a house. Now, things like your solicitor, your survey, your valuation, possibly stamp duty, these are all other fees that you're going to be needing on top of your deposit, and trust me when I say you do not want to be caught out with those right at the end. So make sure that you have your budget in mind, or you have your figure in mind as to how much you're trying to save for your deposit, but try and add maybe about 5, 6, 7 1,000 on top of that, just in case you might need it for all these other fees that could end up landing on the bill right at the end of your purchase. Another thing to do when you're saving for your deposit, and this might be obvious but also not so obvious, start selling stuff that you don't need but can still be of value. Now this is something that I would encourage anyway, so that we can, you know, live sustainably but also make sure that we're utilizing the things that we have as much as possible. But if there's things that you don't need, like, sell it off. See what money that you can get for these things that are currently just sitting in your bedroom or sitting in your living room or sitting wherever they are. Like, for example, with me, I have a guitar, guys. I mean, if you're out here and you're watching this and maybe you're interested in taking up a guitar in the new year, let me know, because I'm actually selling an electroacoustic guitar and I've had it for so many years, but I'm not interested in playing the guitar anymore. So something like that, I think to myself, like, even if I just sell it for £20 or £30, like, that's something that I could just put in a deposit or put towards something else. Like, it makes sense. So definitely take a look around. Like, a new year is a great opportunity to do it. Take a look around at all the things that you may have and sell off all the things that you don't need anymore. The chances are you have a whole bunch of junk living in your house, but indeed it could be someone else's treasure and you can get a little money for that. Another thing that I would say that you could consider when it comes to saving for a deposit or a way to generate a bit more money is to actually rent your assets. So rent things that you have that could be useful to other people. Now, I haven't really checked this out like since the whole pandemic has happened, but there was a website that I had, I can't remember what it was called, but I'll make sure to put it in the description box or up here, but a place where you could basically just like rent out your camera equipment or rent out any things that you have, and people literally pay money to just take it for a weekend or take it for a week or take it for 2 weeks. So if you have something that is sitting in your house that you don't necessarily want to sell, like I mentioned before, but you think that people could use or you could get a little bit of residual income from, why not put it on a website? What's it called? It was something to do with a llama. Fat Llama, that was it. Fat Llama. You can use it to rent out your kit for people to use and just get a little bit of extra money, which you could then put towards your deposit or in your pocket, whichever one you prefer. Thank you guys so much for staying right into the end of this video. You are a real one for that. And if you have any other tips to save for a house, definitely let us know down in the comments. We are all here trying to buy our first house, second house, third house maybe, I mean, if you're about that. Thank you guys so much again, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.